Have you ever wondered why some women feel an instant attraction while others take their time to open up? Is it just chemistry, or is there something deeper happening beneath the surface? The truth is, a woman's emotions don't develop on a strict timeline. Instead, they follow a pattern. So, what actually causes her to shift from curiosity to a real emotional connection? And more importantly, how can you recognize that moment? Before we dive in, if you're interested in Stoic philosophy and deep psychological insights, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss out on powerful content that can transform your understanding of attraction. And if you find this video helpful, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, type 2. Your feedback helps me improve. Today, we're blending the psychology of attraction with Stoic thinking, helping you stay calm, confident, and in control, while still building genuine emotional connections. So stick around until the end, because your perspective on attraction might completely change. Let's get started. 1. Everything starts with a spark. Attraction can happen instantly, but real emotions? They take time. The moment she first notices you, something might draw her in. Maybe it's your confidence, your energy, or the way you carry yourself. It could be your voice, your posture, or simply the calm presence you maintain in a crowded room. But here's where many men go wrong. They assume that attraction automatically means emotional connection. It doesn't. A woman can find you attractive, but that doesn't mean she's invested in you. Attraction is like a lightning strike, quick, intense, but fleeting. It might catch her attention, but it won't keep her heart. Emotions, on the other hand, are built over time. They don't happen instantly. They aren't created by a flashy gesture. They grow when she feels safe with you, when she respects you, when she begins to trust you with her emotions. This process? It's slow, it's unpredictable, and it depends entirely on your consistency. Think of it like this. Attraction is the spark. Emotions are the fire, and fire doesn't just ignite on its own. It needs fuel, it needs warmth, it needs stability to gain depth. She needs to see that you're not just putting on an act, that your confidence isn't fragile, and that your presence in her life is steady, not fleeting. It may take weeks, months, or even longer for her feelings to deepen. And that's something you can't rush. The Stoic mindset in attraction. A man with a Stoic mindset understands this. He doesn't get caught up in the rush of initial attraction. He doesn't feel discouraged when things don't move as fast as he'd like. He embraces the process, because he knows deep emotions cannot be forced. Instead of trying to control what's beyond his reach, he focuses on himself, his actions, his emotional discipline, and his ability to be present naturally. He doesn't manipulate her emotions. He doesn't rush the process. Instead, he lives in a way that naturally draws her in over time. A woman might be attracted to a man's charm, but she falls in love with his character. If your goal is just to make her like you quickly, you might lose her just as fast. But if you show patience, self-respect, and emotional stability, she'll start to see you as something rare, someone she can trust, someone who isn't just a fleeting presence, but a lasting force in her life. So instead of asking, how long will it take for her to develop feelings? Ask yourself, am I the kind of man she would want to develop feelings for? Because when you become that kind of man, time will take care of the rest. Second, her curiosity about you. Once a woman finds you attractive, something shifts. She starts to wonder about you. This is when her curiosity awakens. She watches how you interact with others, how you handle challenges, and most importantly, whether your confidence is real or just an illusion. But attraction alone, it's just a spark. fleeting, fragile, and easily extinguished. True emotions take time to grow, and they don't follow a straight path. At first, she may simply enjoy your presence. But feelings, they don't take root until she sees something deeper. Consistency. Consistency in how you respond to setbacks. Consistency in how you carry yourself. Consistency in whether you stand firm in your values. She might feel intrigued after a few interactions, but deep emotions only emerge through repeated experiences. She needs to see that you're not just impressive in the moment. You're steady, reliable, and real over time. Think about it. If a man crumbles under small inconveniences or constantly seeks validation, she'll sense it. Women are intuitive. They can read energy, intentions, and a man's true nature. They know when confidence is genuine and when it's just a performance. That's why deep feelings don't develop overnight. It's not rejection, it's observation, a slow process of trust building. A Stoic man doesn't rush. He understands that emotions, like anything valuable, need time. He doesn't chase instant gratification or try to force a connection. He knows that deep feelings don't come from grand gestures or excessive effort. They come from quiet, steady presence. Instead of chasing her, he focuses on his own path, his growth, his purpose, his mastery of life. And that is what makes him truly attractive. Now, imagine two types of men. One constantly texts her, over-explains himself, and always seeks reassurance. The other is present, but never overbearing. He lets things unfold naturally, proving through actions, not just words, that he's a man of substance. Who do you think she will develop feelings for? A woman's emotions don't deepen just because a man is always available. They grow when she sees that he is stable, grounded, and unapologetically himself. The key? Patience. If she truly falls for you, it won't be because you convinced her. It'll be because over time she realizes, on her own, that you're the kind of man she can't help but admire. Now, take a moment to reflect. Have you ever noticed that a woman's curiosity about you increases when she starts seeing you differently? Not because you're chasing her, but simply because you're living with purpose. Attraction sparks interest, but consistency and confidence, that's what deepens emotions. What do you think? Have you experienced this shift in someone's feelings toward you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Or if you're short on time, just type, "Patience always wins in the end." Let's talk. 3. When she feels safe with you. This is something most men overlook. Before a woman can develop deep feelings, she needs to feel safe, emotionally, mentally, and even energetically. I know many guys believe that attraction alone is enough, but let's be real. Attraction might spark interest, but it's not what makes her fall for you. Feelings take time to grow, and they only take root in a space where she feels secure. Think about it. Would you open up to someone if you weren't sure they truly supported you? Of course not. Women are the same. But here's the key. Emotional safety doesn't mean you have to be her therapist or solve all her problems. It means you are consistent, reliable, and stable. She can express herself without fear of judgment. She sees that you don't get thrown off by small inconveniences. The mistake many men make. A lot of guys assume that romantic gestures or sweet words will magically create an emotional connection. But words, they mean nothing if your actions show instability. If one day you're calm and composed, but the next you react impulsively and insecurely, she will hesitate to trust you. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and you have the power to revoke this at any moment. Women are naturally drawn to men who have emotional control. She wants to see that you don't lose balance easily, that your emotions aren't ruled by momentary impulses. A man who reacts impulsively to every little inconvenience signals instability, and instability, it doesn't build trust. The paradox of attraction. The more you try to push her emotions, the longer it takes for them to grow. But if you present a steady, grounded presence, if you focus on being the kind of man she can trust, without constantly needing reassurance, her feelings will grow in ways you can't predict. Now, ask yourself, are you creating a space where she feels safe to truly connect with you? Let's talk in the comments. 4. Trust takes time. Attraction can happen fast, a glance, a moment, a spark. But trust? That's different. Trust has to be built, earned over time, not freely given from the start. At first, a woman may be drawn to your energy, curious about how you carry yourself. But real emotions don't just appear overnight. They take root when she sees trust, respect, and consistency. She's not just looking at who you are today, she's watching how you act over time. Are you the same man this week as you were last week? Do your actions align with your words? Or do you change depending on convenience? Think of it like this. A spark can ignite a fire, but without a steady fuel source, the fire won't last. If you're unpredictable, if your words and actions don't match, she won't feel safe enough to develop deep emotions. Stoic wisdom on consistency. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true character isn't revealed through words, but through how we face challenges, how we stay grounded in our values, no matter the circumstances. Women are incredibly perceptive. Do you stay composed, or do you react impulsively? Do you seek validation, or do you move with quiet confidence? Trust isn't built through promises. It's built through steady, unwavering actions over time. Trust comes from consistency. A woman needs to know where she stands with you. If she constantly has to guess your emotions, question your sincerity, or wonder if you mean what you say, she won't feel safe enough to open up. Feelings don't grow in uncertainty. They thrive in emotional security. Now imagine a woman dating a man. At first, he texts her every day, makes plans, and follows through. Then suddenly, one day, he disappears. No explanation, no reason. Immediately, doubt creeps in. Was he really who I thought he was? Or was it all just an act? But if a man consistently shows up, aligns his words with actions, and remains steady, she starts to feel safe. And from that trust, her emotions develop naturally. Feelings aren't built through grand gestures or poetic words. They grow through small but steady moments, when she realizes you are real, unshaken, and not just playing a role. And when that happens, she doesn't just invest time in you, she invests her heart. Reflect on your own experiences. How has consistency influenced your relationships? Have you ever deeply trusted someone simply because they were unwavering in their words and actions? Drop your thoughts in the comments, or simply type, "Trust is built through consistency." Let's talk. The moment emotional connection deepens. If things go well, there comes a moment when she feels something deeper for you. At that point, it's no longer just about attraction or surface-level compatibility. It's about how you make her feel emotionally. But this doesn't happen overnight. A woman doesn't wake up one day and suddenly have deep feelings for someone. Feelings develop gradually, often in ways even she may not recognize at first. They are built through trust, consistency, and emotional experiences with you. They grow from small moments, the way you listen when she speaks, the way you respond when she feels vulnerable, the sense of security she feels in your presence. She doesn't love a man just because he's in her life. She loves the man who makes her feel. A man who relies only on attraction won't sustain the connection. Looks fade, excitement wears off. If there's nothing deeper, the connection dissolves. So, what truly creates a lasting bond? Take a moment to reflect. Share your thoughts in the comments. 5. When the bond deepens. If everything goes well, there comes a moment when she starts to feel something more. At this point, it's no longer just about looks or surface-level compatibility. It's about how you make her feel emotionally. But this doesn't happen overnight. Feelings don't just appear out of nowhere. They build, gradually, subtly, often in ways even she doesn't recognize at first. They take root through trust, consistency, and shared emotional experiences. And it's always the small moments that matter most. How you listen when she speaks, how you respond when she feels vulnerable, the sense of security she feels in your presence. Deeper conversations, stronger connections. This is when your conversations change. They become more meaningful when she realizes that you don't just want her, you truly understand her. When she feels safe enough to open up, to talk about the things that matter, the thoughts and emotions she wouldn't share with just anyone, that's when real emotional investment begins. A woman doesn't fall in love with a man just because he's in her life. She falls in love with the man who makes her feel understood, valued, and safe. A man who relies only on physical attraction, he won't sustain the connection. Looks fade. The initial excitement wears off. If there's nothing deeper, the connection dissolves. But if you bring stability, sincerity, and emotional depth, you lay the foundation for something lasting. The Stoic man offers something deeper. He's not just a man who grabs attention. He's a man who makes her think, challenges her in the right way, and doesn't just entertain, but inspires. Think about it. A woman isn't drawn to a man who is easily swayed by fleeting emotions. She's drawn to a man who is steady, a man she can respect, because he doesn't react impulsively, he acts with purpose. And when she realizes that you don't need her validation to feel worthy, that's when she starts to feel something deeper for you. Why? Because security creates attraction. A Stoic man doesn't chase approval. He provides a stable presence. He creates a space where she can open up and feel safe investing emotionally. This isn't about playing games or trying to force emotions. It's about becoming the kind of man who naturally evokes those emotions over time. At first, she finds you attractive. Then, she starts to admire you. Eventually, she realizes she misses you when you're not around. That's when real feelings take root, but only if you've given her something worth feeling. Now, take a moment to reflect. What kind of presence do you bring to the people in your life? Drop your thoughts in the comments. 6. Distance makes everything clearer. Ironically, one of the most powerful forces that deepens emotions is distance. If a woman enjoys your presence but doesn't miss you when you're away, her feelings won't grow deeper. But if she starts thinking about you, wondering what you're doing, feeling your absence in moments she didn't expect, that's when something shifts. That's when she realizes your presence isn't just something she enjoys, it's something she craves. The mistake many men make. A lot of men believe that always being available, constantly texting, calling, and making plans will make a woman like them more. But in reality, attraction needs space to grow. She needs time to process her emotions. She needs a little distance to wonder about you. She needs to feel a sense of longing when you're not around. This isn't about playing games. It's about understanding human nature. People don't truly value what is always available. If she knows that, "You're always there," you always reply instantly. You always make yourself an easy option. Then where's the excitement? Where's the emotional build-up? Think of it like a favorite song. If you play it too often, you start to lose excitement. But if you don't hear it for a while, when it plays again, you appreciate it even more. This same principle applies to attraction. Distance doesn't weaken connection. It makes the value of your presence clearer. Distance helps feelings take root. When you create just enough space for her to wonder about you, something happens. She starts to miss you. She wonders what her life would feel like without you. And that's when her emotions truly take root. The Stoic perspective. This aligns perfectly with Stoic wisdom, detachment, and patience. You can't force someone to feel something. You shouldn't seek validation through constant interaction. A man who knows his value doesn't chase emotions. He allows them to develop naturally. He isn't obsessed with how fast or slow emotions grow. He understands that what's meant to be will unfold without force or desperation. Feelings don't deepen when everything is predictable and overly available. They grow in the space between encounters, in the quiet moments when she's reflecting on you. If she never has the chance to miss you, how can she ever realize how much she wants you? Now, take a moment to reflect. Have you ever noticed how distance can make someone miss you more? How has distance positively changed a relationship for you? Drop your thoughts in the comments, or if you're short on time, just type, "Distance helps connection grow." Let's talk. 7. When she starts investing in you. Once a woman begins developing real feelings, something changes. She starts investing in you, and it happens in small but meaningful ways. She checks in on you and asks how you're doing. She genuinely listens when you talk about your day. She makes time for you, even when she's busy. These subtle actions show that you're becoming more than just an option. You're becoming important to her. The mistake many men make. At this stage, a lot of men get overly excited and start to text too much, give excessive compliments, pursue too aggressively. Ironically, this can weaken the very attraction they've built. Think of attraction like a fire. If you pour too much fuel too quickly, you risk smothering the flame, but if you let it burn steadily, the fire will naturally grow stronger. Emotions work the same way. A woman needs space to feel, to miss you, to wonder about you. If you're constantly present, always seeking attention, she won't have the chance to truly appreciate you. Let her invest in you at her own pace. The strongest attraction comes from a balance between presence and space. The Stoic approach to attraction. A Stoic man doesn't change his rhythm just because a woman is showing more interest. He remains himself, calm, grounded, and consistent. And that stability, it's powerfully attractive. When a woman senses that he doesn't desperately seek her validation, but instead he's content within himself, she becomes even more drawn to him. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The same applies to attraction. A man cannot control how fast a woman develops feelings for him, but he can control himself. Genuine investment leads to lasting feelings. When a woman truly invests in a man, It's not because she was pressured or manipulated, it's because she genuinely wants to. And feelings built on patience and authenticity, those are the ones that last. What do you think? Have you ever experienced this shift in someone's feelings? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Or if you're short on time, just type, "Genuine investment creates lasting feelings." 8. She challenges you to see your true self. There will be moments when she puts you in a tough spot, not to play games, but to see who you truly are under pressure. Women don't fall for a man overnight. Attraction sparks instantly, but real feelings, they take time, experience, and emotional security to develop. And one of the ways she decides if you're worth that investment is by watching how you handle different situations. She might pull away for a day, not to manipulate you, but to see if you lose control and chase after her. She might mention another man, not to provoke you, but to test your confidence. Sometimes she'll challenge your opinions, not to argue, but to see if you stand firm in your beliefs. These aren't mind games, they're insights into your character. She wants to know, are you stable? Can you hold your ground? A weak man crumbles under this pressure. He panics when she pulls away. He overreacts when she mentions another guy. He becomes defensive when challenged. But a stoic man? He doesn't flinch. He knows that true strength isn't about reacting emotionally. It's about maintaining composure, self-assurance, and inner peace. He doesn't let a single moment define his worth or shake the foundation of the relationship. Think about this. Women don't fall in love in a day. Attraction? That's easy. But deep, lasting connection, that takes consistency, self-control, and emotional stability. At first, she might be drawn to your looks or charm, but what makes her stay, what makes her feel something real, is your ability to stand your ground. Seneca once said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." The same is true in relationships. You can't control when or how she develops feelings for you. You can't predict the subtle challenges she'll throw your way. But what you can control is how you respond. When she sees that you don't crumble under pressure, that you don't constantly seek reassurance, that you don't react impulsively, she starts to see you differently. She begins to trust you. She respects you. And over time, she desires you, not just physically, but on a deeper, emotional level. Because real connection isn't built on fleeting emotions, it's built on resilience, consistency, a strong sense of self. This doesn't mean pretending to be indifferent. It means being so secure within yourself that no external force can shake your inner peace. Because in the end, women don't fall for men who chase approval. They fall for men who are already whole, with or without it. 9. The feeling of "this is right." When things unfold naturally, there comes a moment, a quiet, undeniable moment, when she starts feeling truly comfortable around you. And that's where real feelings begin to take root. Because love isn't just about excitement, it's about peace. Attraction might spark interest, but it's the sense of safety and ease that transforms that interest into something real. If she can be herself with you, without fear, without masks, that's when emotions deepen. Think about it. Has anyone ever fallen in love with someone who made them feel tense, anxious, or on edge? A woman's feelings grow when she senses a stable, steady energy from you. And this doesn't come from grand gestures or constantly proving yourself. It comes from consistency, from the calm presence of a man who isn't ruled by his emotions, a man who remains steady even when things don't go his way. That's Stoicism in action. Epictetus once said, "Anyone capable of angering you becomes your master." If small things shake you, if frustration controls you, how can she trust you to be a steady force in her life? A man who masters his emotions, who isn't swept up by external chaos, is a man who creates a safe space for the woman beside him. And within that safety, within that sense of certainty, her feelings begin to grow. Not because you force them, but because she's drawn to the peace you provide. Think of it like water. If a woman is with a man who's unpredictable, unstable and reactive, it's like standing by the ocean during a storm, thrilling at first, but draining over time. But if she's beside a calm, steady river, she trusts its flow. She feels safe in its presence, and she knows that even if a storm comes, it remains steady. A woman starts developing feelings when she feels that steadiness in you. Imagine she's had a terrible day, stress, misunderstandings, maybe even self-doubt creeping in. If you panic and try to fix everything immediately, you're just adding to the chaos. But if you listen, if you stay calm, if you allow her to feel understood, that's when she starts realizing, this man, I can rely on him. And that's when her emotions truly begin to grow. A woman's feelings don't follow a schedule. It could take weeks, months, but the key is consistency and emotional stability, no forcing, no rushing. A man who stays true to himself, who remains steady no matter what happens, may not be the one who sweeps her off her feet instantly, but he will be the one she trusts, and once she trusts you, her feelings will naturally follow. 10. Is this love or just a passing emotion? Not every spark turns into a flame. Not every attraction leads to love. And that's okay. Emotions don't follow a schedule. A woman might feel an instant pull toward you, or it might take weeks, maybe months, for something deeper to develop. Sometimes it never does. Feelings are like the tide, rising, falling, shaped by time, experience, and even things she can't fully explain herself. A Stoic man understands this. He doesn't waste energy trying to control the outcome. He knows his role isn't to force emotions, but to simply be his best self. Love grows at its own pace. Imagine planting a seed. You water it, give it sunlight, and let nature take its course. You don't stand over it, demanding it to grow faster. Love works the same way. If it's meant to happen, it will, in its own time. You might wonder, how long does it take for a woman to truly develop feelings? The answer? There's no set timeline. Some women feel connected after a few dates. Others take months to build trust. And sometimes it never happens, no matter what you do. That's why no amount of persuasion, pursuit, or pressure can force love. In fact, desperation usually does the opposite. It pushes her away. A Stoic man understands this. Confidence over attachment. Instead of chasing, he shows up with confidence. Instead of obsessing over the outcome, he enjoys the connection as it is. His happiness isn't dependent on whether she falls for him, because his sense of self doesn't come from someone else's emotions, and that gives him a rare kind of strength. While other men overanalyze texts, dissect every glance, stress over every response, the Stoic man stays at peace. Because he knows, if something is truly meant for him, it will come in its own time. The Stoic man lets things unfold naturally. He understands that if a relationship is real, it will grow on its own. If it's not, he lets it go, without resentment, without clinging, without losing himself. Because love isn't something you win or decode. It's a natural connection that only has meaning when both people feel it freely. When you embrace this mindset, with patience, confidence, and self-worth, you create the space for genuine attraction to grow, not by forcing it, but by being a man of depth, purpose, and emotional stability. Real love can't be forced. Attraction can be instant, but real feelings take time, consistency, and trust. A woman doesn't fall for a man just because he's in her life. She falls for a man who is steady, calm, and true to himself. If there's one lesson from Stoicism that applies to love, it's this: you can't control someone else's emotions or their timeline, but you can control the man you become in the process. So instead of overanalyzing texts and signals, focus on what you can control. Be patient, be steady. If a real connection is meant to grow, it will, without pressure, without force. Simply through the quiet power of your presence. In my view, initial attraction is like a spark, intense, exciting, but fleeting. Real emotions, they take time. They need stability, trust, a foundation that doesn't crumble overnight. Many men think that a strong first impression is enough, but the truth? Women don't fall in love in a single moment. What keeps them around isn't just charm or words. It's a man's consistent, lasting presence in their lives. And then there's distance, a force that shapes emotions in ways most don't realize. When a man is too predictable, always available, he unknowingly loses some of his allure. But when he's focused on his own life, growing, building his personal value, his presence means more. Women aren't drawn to clinginess. They're drawn to quiet confidence, to a man who stands firm without needing constant validation. Because real feelings, they can't be forced. A woman needs time to see if a man is truly emotionally stable. A steady man doesn't need to impress with grand words. His actions speak for him. He stands by his values. He remains unshaken by challenges, by shifts in the relationship. In the end, a lasting connection isn't built on games, tactics, or relentless pursuit. It's built on harmony, on two people who genuinely respect and understand each other. A man of value, he isn't someone who begs for love. He's someone who inspires it. A woman chooses to invest her emotions, not because she's convinced, but because she feels it deeply and willingly. We've talked about this before. A woman's feelings don't ignite instantly. They grow slowly over time. Yes, initial attraction may draw her in, but what truly creates a lasting connection? Stability, consistency, emotional control, and then there's distance. When a man is always available, always predictable, something shifts. The sense of desire begins to fade. But when there's space, when she has time to reflect and miss you, that's when she truly begins to recognize your value. This isn't about playing games. It's about understanding how emotions really work. More importantly, real feelings can't be forced. A Stoic man doesn't chase. He doesn't seek approval. He moves with purpose, focused on building his own value, standing firm in his beliefs. And that quiet confidence is what makes him naturally attractive. Because in the end, a strong relationship isn't built on chasing or grand gestures. It's built on trust, on patience, on shared values. A woman doesn't fall for a man just because he tries to please her. She falls for him because he makes her feel secure, respected, and at peace. And when that happens, her feelings unfold naturally, without pressure, without haste. A woman's emotions are never static. They shift, evolve, and change over time. Have you ever noticed that? Sometimes it's the smallest things that make the biggest difference. And in this constant ebb and flow, patience can be the key to deepening attraction. Think about that for a moment. If you found this insight valuable, hit that like button. It lets me know this content resonates with you. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel for more powerful insights on relationships, attraction, and the Stoic mindset. Also, check out the videos on the screen. They'll help you dive even deeper into connection and emotions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.